this issue of having a European government without ears, as you put it.
Yes.
Is that really the point that made you?
Yeah.
That made you decide, wake up one morning and say, I have to do something.
It was look. Very honestly, the original reason I started to get interested in this was for business reasons. I'm an entrepreneur. I've built businesses across more than 10 countries in Europe. I've built a business in the United States. I love Ireland. I love Europe. I love doing business in Europe. I'm very enthusiastic. Europe should be the best place in the world. It isn't, yes, but it should be the best place in the world to innovate, to invent, to create new businesses. Growth businesses in Europe, new growth businesses provide more than 80% of new jobs. Yes, Nicolas Sarkozy wants to protect the national champions, so he relegated the competition clause. His idea of efficient good business are the likes of Total Elfina or BP, oil conglomerates. And yes, they say, oh, it's going to be good for the environment. How? By making sure that there is no real entrepreneurial innovation and competition to the oil giants, to keep us dependent on Middle Eastern oil. Where's the sense in that? How's that good for the environment? And how's that good for innovation, European leadership and job creation? It's bad. And I looked at it first from a business standpoint. Now, in Ireland's case, we have certain competitors, because we have competitors outside of Europe, but all of the member states of Europe, we also have internal competition. We compete with each other, okay? Ireland happens to have very low corporate tax rates, and they have been one of the instruments that we have used to attract what some would see as a disproportionate share of foreign direct investment. Now, there are many reasons why those investors, foreign direct investors, come to Ireland. There are many reasons. But one of those is our low corporate tax rate and other things that we can do innovatively. Yet in this treaty, we lose the veto in more than 60 areas of policy, including foreign direct investment policy. So we're taking this toolbox that we had, that we were able to use to attract foreign direct investment, and Denmark's done exactly the same thing because you've signed up to the same deal, and we have handed that toolbox to Brussels. So if we want to negotiate with a new investor that's coming in, we're going to have to ask Brussels to borrow those tools to use them. In the case of Ireland, I can tell you that is an act of economic madness. Sarkozy is on record as saying that he is going after and wary of what he calls unfair tax competition. He means us. He doesn't mean the Chinese, he means us. Okay? So, and there are also back doors to, although Ireland retains a veto over taxation policy, it only takes a ruling by the European Court of Justice. It would be the same for any of your opt-outs in Denmark or Poland's opt-outs. If the European Court of Justice rules that we're engaging in unfair, what they call unfair competition, our opt-outs won't be worth the paper that they're written on. The business... People say, oh, that this is some sort of, I mean, hilariously say that this is some kind of capitalist conspiracy. It's on the contrary. The only businesses that benefit from this are what I call the courtiers of Brussels. If you can afford, think about what unaccountable government is in Brussels. So you'll have commissioners and a commission, a president of Europe, this foreign minister, who don't have to worry about what anybody votes, because they never have to ask for a vote. So who do they listen to? Do you think they might be more inclined to listen to a lobbyist than anybody else? Of course they will. So if you can go and afford to pay 2 million, 3 million, 4 million euro a year to the best lobbying firm in Brussels, you are going to have enormous influence, because I won't even call them a politician, the ruler, the unmandated, unaccountable ruler and lawmaker is never going to have to worry about what happens at a ballot box. So big vested interests, national champions as Nicolas Sarkozy calls them, they will benefit. Who in business loses? The growth businesses, the job creators, young people, those that invent, create, innovate and provide competition to these big old dinosaurs. that the likes of Sarkozy wants to protect. Is that good for Europe in the long run? Absolutely not. We need to be able to innovate, to be able to compete with China and India and the United States and every other economy in the world. We need to be lean, we need to be efficient, we need to be able to take on this competition, not by raising barriers, protectionist barriers to protect inefficient industry, but by being creative and inventive. The Lisbon Treaty, it suffocates the ability for business, creative growth businesses to do that. It's ridiculous. So there are many business reasons to be against this. Anybody that really understands business and entrepreneurship, as opposed to courtiership, which is a different thing, they're grant-entrepreneurs. Okay, Europe's entrepreneurs, we don't need grants and benefices and handouts. We just need oxygen and air to breathe. We need a truly free and open space in which to be able to build our businesses and create jobs. We don't need artificial support to those that the likes of Nicolas Sarkozy wants us to protect.